Try to keep it somewhat.
All right, is my mic good? Looks good.
Heck yeah. We gotta let the lady say the thing.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, internet world. Yep, I got you right there. In West Alabama, how we doing today on a Thursday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well, having a great day. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off of McFarland Boulevard, live on the BamaCentral Facebook page. You're watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We're going to have a lot of fun today with our friends Theo Fernandez and Hunter De Siver. We're going to talk Alabama basketball, find out what is wrong with Amari Allen if Hunter De Siver cursed him. We're going to find out about the Iron Bowl of basketball with Hunter, talking about the last regular season game, SEC tournament, where the Crimson Tide can go in the NCAA tournament, and more with Hunter. And we're going to find out what in the world happened down in Montgomery last night for the Alabama baseball team with Theo Fernandez. We're going to have a lot more fun on the Thursday edition of the program. The program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can visit them online at roofturtle.com. Visit them online and check out all their products and services and see how they can give you the peace of mind that you deserve in your home. Purple Turtle Roofing, roofing with heart, built to last. They'll take care of you with your residential or commercial roofing needs. Visit them online today at roofturtle.com. Follow Hunter De Siver at Hunter De Siver on the Twitter machine. Read all of his work on BamaCentral.com, writing all things basketball, football, and really anything athletics related on BamaCentral.com. And our man Theo Fernandez as well at Theo Fernandez _, writing all things baseball and dabbling into all the athletics for Alabama athletics. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Theo, good morning. How we doing, sir? You're in for a big day.
Yes, I am headed up to Birmingham as soon as we're done recording here. 7A state semifinals. Dothan taking on Tuscaloosa County High. Kurt Weeks.
The Wildcats.
The Wildcat way. Yeah, Tuscaloosa County High is in its 100th year of existence right now. That'd be a pretty cool way to end it, right? Winning a state title. Only 3 head coaches in 100 years. Such a cool story. I'm excited to cover it.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you know the other 2 teams in the semifinals for 7A?
I do not.
It's okay. So we're taking on Dothan today, and that's all that matters.
Dothan.
We're being where our feet are.
And then we would have a crazy day on Saturday. I'm anchoring at the station. I'd have Iron Bowl, I'd have Alabama baseball, and potential state championship game on Saturday. That'd be a crazy day.
All right. So exciting. Hope that you get to see a big old Wildcats win. And if you are going up to Birmingham from Tuscaloosa, hope you enjoy the trip. You get there safely, cheer for your Wildcats, and get back safely. Hope the boys and the coaches, everybody plays hard and safe and leaves everything on the floor and let the results be what they are. Hunter De Siver, good morning, sir. How we doing? Thanks for being back here. 3 Thursdays in a row. Whew, it's a trend.
That's exciting. Yeah, 3 Thursdays in a row. Last Thursday was definitely more of a positive vibe, but I guess what we're going to be talking about basketball-wise today might not be super positive, but I'm still happy to be here regardless.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you as well right here in the program. And really, we wanted to bring you on to ask you if you can fix Amari Allen. 5 points in the last 2 games. Obviously, you were watching all of the Alabama basketball on Tuesday as they really walk through the game in Athens, losing to Georgia 98-88. What did you make of the game? Were you surprised that Alabama came out flat, or do you think they were going to come back in the second half? We've seen that a couple of different times. Take us inside the mind of Hunter De Siver on Tuesday night.
Well, yes, I was initially surprised that they came out a bit sluggish, but then I remembered against Tennessee, against Mississippi State, against Oklahoma, a couple other teams too. When they start badly in the first half, they dominate in the second. So I'm like, all right, they're going to do it. Like it's just going to be another game like that. And it just never happened. Like 3 minutes went by. I'm like, all right, the score has not changed. Like the difference hasn't changed. I'm like, so this will go well. I was watching it with you. I was not super confident with the whole second half, first half too. And now they have another loss.
Another loss. And we talked about it a lot yesterday. You can hear it on all the podcast platforms. Hunter, do you take anything from the loss? Does it move you any direction on how you feel about the team overall? Because I was kind of struggling balancing, okay, well, the loss doesn't really mean much in terms of SEC tournament seeding, NCAA tournament seeding. You still got everything right there in front of you. But you also had so many problems that this team has had throughout the season show up on Tuesday.
Yep. All of that encapsulated on Tuesday. Turnovers, rebounds, defense. But in terms of what you initially said with the seeding and stuff, all they had to do was win, and they would get the 2 seed. I know there's like another scenario now where if they beat Auburn, they'll just get the 2 seed. But
if they beat Auburn, they get the 2 seed.
Yeah.
If Arkansas loses to Missouri on Saturday, they get the 2 seed.
Yes. So either way, I mean, I think it's very likely that they do get the 2 seed. I mean, they've beaten Auburn one time this year. Granted, last year they split the series. Both times the road team won. And so far this year, Alabama was the road team and Auburn's going to be the road team this time. But yeah, in terms of the game, though, as you said, defense was a nightmare down low, especially. Something that's been a main theme of the entire year was just the paint defense. Obviously, Aiden Sherrill is one of the best shot blockers in the country. He's been iffy in terms of actual paint defense. And that's it. There's no one else. Noah Williamson plays under 10 minutes a game. Taylor Bowen, we haven't really seen much of him lately. I know he's been dealing with injuries, but he's been healthy the last couple of games, and he hasn't really come out yet. And Keaton Bristow's been out. And yeah, there really aren't any other forwards or bigs that can really help out Aiden Sherrill, and it really showed against Georgia.
Hunter, I want to ask you something related, because me and Joe talked about this, and I brought up this point yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The team absolutely came into the season not expecting London Jemison to have to be a guy you trusted to rebound, right? Yeah. Like, that's not, I don't think that's a role at all that you wanted that guy to have to fill. And in my opinion, it's almost a little unfair seeing some of the rhetoric around Jemison and struggling with rebounds. Well, you brought the guy in to be, like, he was supposed to be an offensive spark plug this year, a very clear role player. What do you think about, I guess, just the kind of role he could play rebounding, and I guess just the assessment of that?
I mean, I'll say I thought early in the 8-game winning streak that I thought he would be like a potential guy to fill in that 5 spot for Aiden Sherrill. It's kind of strange considering he's only 6'8", but he kind of proved his own. There was a few times where they had lineups where London or Amari were the tallest player, and it worked out. But the last couple of games, London and Amari have been quiet on rebounding and shooting. And so I think those two kind of need to step up a bit as we reach the final part of the season. They're obviously new to the SEC in general and college basketball. And when we get to the SEC tournament in March Madness, I think they're going to really understand this. This is a win or go home atmosphere. And I think they could really kind of get things up a little bit.
How do you evaluate London Jemison this season?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when you and I watch games, we'll always see him in the corner, and we know if he's getting the ball in the corner, he's going to shoot it no matter what.
Michael Porter Jr.
That's what I told him. That's what I told him during the game.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I said during the game, that it's such a Michael Porter Jr. thing to do. But he's been inconsistent. There have been times where he's gone on huge runs on his own, specifically against Auburn. I think he started a 7-0 run, and that gave Alabama the lead, and they never looked back after that. There was a couple other games like that. A&M, sure. But he only has a few games with over 10 points, at least in SEC play. So he's kind of struggled a little bit. I don't think anyone thought that he would be an NBA player after 1 year. And I don't think he's ready for that just yet. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look at LeBaron finally came back. Aiden Sherrill came back. A couple other freshmen. But, I think he's been all right this season. I think he's grown steadily. But there's definitely room for improvement in year 2.
Do you see him being... next year. Do you see him being next year a a cornerstone piece to this NATO's program, to this Alabama program, to whereas, you're seeing him come in and be that spark plug and just shoot up any shot that he's got and attack. Man, he attacks the basket like the basket stole something from him. Really, I love the way he slashes to the rim, but I also think I think he's a little bit reckless. I think he's a little bit. Just over exuberant, over aggressive, just a hair. Do you think that he can be just refine a little bit over the summer and become a cornerstone piece for this program next year?
Oh, absolutely. I think he was pretty highly touted as a recruit. I think he was a 4-star, right around that area. But I've asked Oates about this before, and something that's pretty easy to notice is that guys who come back into Oates' program after a year tends to work out for him. Look at top 2 players this year. Maybe 3 or 4. But LeBaron is obviously number 1. He's going to be a top 15 pick in the draft. Last year, he was going to go to the draft, but he probably would have been a late first rounder, early second. Comes back, he'll be a lottery pick this year. Aiden Holloway, not sure exactly what his plans are. I feel like I haven't heard much draft stuff.
I think Aiden's going to come back.
I think so too.
He'll be playing college basketball next.
Yes. Yeah. He was a 6-man last year, and now he's top 15 in the SEC in points per game, somewhere right around there. Also, he's top 10 in assists. They got Aiden Sherrill, who was last on the team last year in minutes per game. He started every single game for Alabama this year, and you're seeing what he's doing now. He's averaging double figures and second in the SEC in blocks. So, based off that, I could definitely see London Jemison. I'm not going to say a full breakout where he becomes a lottery pick next year. But yeah, I definitely see a ton of improvement for next year. I think he's got the potential for that.
Yeah, just jumping on that. I'm going to raise you one there, Hunter. I think not only that he can break out, but that he is a player that if he is in Tuscaloosa next year, I view as being the number 2 or 3 offensive option on the team.
I don't have an issue with that.
I think that
behind Caleb Holt, though.
Yeah, we're like that. Obviously, it's impossible to tell where the freshman who's going to be there, right? Who's going to be producing?
And to be clear, Caleb is not signed yet.
He's
not committed yet. I'm just putting that out there.
I think that he does so many just pure things offensively, right? And you see all the pieces in place for a guy who can take that jump. You talked about his offensive pedigree right now. He was the number 1 recruit in the state of Connecticut. He plays like somebody who maybe is almost a little frustrated at the lack of opportunity.
Sure.
It's hard to continue to play like that when you are getting the actual reps and the minutes, right? So I would say that he is almost the least, quote, team basketball player on the roster right now, right?
I'll raise you one. Julio Bethea is a little bit more.
Okay.
But you're right. They're in the same category. They're in
the
same category. You continue.
And Jemison, that's why we see him do some really good things and then also have some really bad stretches on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're getting trusted with, okay, well, I developed with the team for a whole summer. I'm fully integrated now. I'm going to be a starting player next year. You can't afford to play like that. That's how you get off the court. Once you're in, you are in. And once you start actually getting deliberate about, well, I've got the ball, I'm not going to recklessly drive, because he's always going to be for the entirety of London Jemison's career at any level of basketball, whether it's here, whether it's overseas, whether it's NBA, whatever he ends up at. He will be a player who the possession probably more times than not ends with him, right?
The Michael Porter Jr.
But it will not be quite as pronounced as it is right now.
Okay.
Because he does, like you said, the way he attacks, man.
He's aggressive.
And when he refines that more, and when he actually is, okay, first of all, you're stronger. Second of all, you're adjust to SEC play. You have a better understanding of the college game. I just think the potential is sky high. He could be the second leading scorer on an Alabama basketball roster. I mean, I really like what he could
Thirdly,
bring to the
Amar,
table.
it's going to be Aiden Holloway. It's going to be Caleb Holt, Aiden Holloway, then London Jemison.
Yeah, we're putting a lot into this Caden Holt thing. It is going to be hard to bring all these guys in, man. Like, that's not even something that we want to fully talk about right now, but I'm hearing whispers of a $2 million offer loading for Aiden Sherrill this offseason.
Woo! Really?
Yeah. Like that,
That's exciting.
that's almost one where you have to.
Well, he's taken a huge jump. What do you, Hunter? Do you think he's worth a big NIL commitment as a junior, as a potential junior? He's taking a big jump for me. Go ahead.
He's taking a massive jump, and I'm not sure if he's ready for the NBA just yet.
Yeah. He's a 4-year player.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. This guy's a former McDonald's All-American, 5-star athlete. And first year, I was a little worried that he was getting the fewest minutes. I didn't know where this was going, where this All-American kind of status came from. And this year, we're kind of seeing it now. And I think this could be just a little bit of a sneak peek for next year, where he could really be something, one of the best centers in the SEC, if not the best.
He's gonna. That these guys are going to get big offers, right? London Jemison is another where, some school is looking at, oh man, this guy had some good stretches. Mm-hmm. We'll snipe him away, just like what happened with Darian Reed a year ago. It is impossible with these guys to know who outside of Aiden Holloway, is there a single lock on the team to, this guy will return and wear crimson on the roster next year? Like, there's nobody,
I would assume that Aiden is back.
No, I would. Aiden Holloway, I think, is the closest.
Drafts, who knows? But I would assume that he is back.
I'd say he's probably the only lock on the team to be back on.
That's fair.
Right?
I think that's fair to say. If I'm looking down the roster,
wouldn't you say both Aidens are likely to return?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Holloway more than Sherrill.
Yeah, and I would say I'm with you, Theo, that London Jemison is probably going to be one of those ones that you want him back, definitely, but people are going to be in his ear. We'll give you a bigger role. We'll give you more money. And we'll see how, we'll just see how that plays out. And that could play out any number of different ways. Amari's gone. LeBaron is gone. Latrell is graduated. Houston is graduated.
Noah's gone.
Cry me a river.
Like, what happens with Bethea? Whatever you paid him, that number's going down. Bullbone, it's hard to tell.
Bethea, you might get back. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell on so many of those guys. And then
he's been really complimentary of Bethea's attitude and work ethic, despite his limited role. So you might get him back for real. Keaton is transferring out. David Hanna might return on a medical after a redshirt season. Collins might. I think Collins is going to Collins is 50. I think Collins is 50-50 because you've taken care of him. You've done right by him through a medical issue. Does he do right by you and stay, or does he transfer out, or is he done with basketball altogether? I think Collins is a pretty big question mark. So you got three or four players that you're expecting to get back, and you got about 3 or 4 players that you're like, well, we'll see what happens. And then the rest of them are all NBA or drafted or transferred out.
And I think it all just comes down to, where is it worth spending the money? And
sure.
Like you said, Holt, he is a massive variable in all this.
Sure.
Because if you're giving Caleb Holt all this money, and then, someone maybe throws a bigger offer than you expected out of a guy like London Jemison, how do you balance that?
You take Caleb Holt and you thank London Jemison for his year.
That is what the team would end up doing in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be a chaotic portal, as it always is, but, that's far down. We've got a season at hand here to worry about.
And we brought Hunter on to explain what the hell happened to Amari Allen in these 2 games. He writes a big feature, 23 points on the day that he releases his big feature. 23 points, 6 of 7 from the 3-point line. My man's is 1 of 8 from the 3-point line in the last 2 games since the big feature. 5 total points. Fouled out in the last game against Georgia, 8 total fouls. So Florida with foul trouble against Tennessee as well. Now, Tennessee, a little physical. Everybody's flirting with foul trouble, whatever there. But you're not getting after it scoring the ball, and you're not getting after it in the rebounding department. I think it was just 3 in the last 2 games. Amari Allen, what has happened? Hunter, can you fix our fabulous freshman?
Can I fix them? So while we were talking about the London Gems and stuff, I was thinking, maybe they forgot about the Amari Allen thing, and I'll be off scot free here. But yeah, you're 2-14 in 2 games after getting 23 the game before points. That is, I mean, he was asked. Nate was asked about it during the presser after the Georgia game, and then Latrell Wrightsell was also asked about it. I can't say it's necessarily a confidence thing because he's still shooting 7 shots, but that's not as many as he might usually do. And from what I may have noticed is that if he misses his first 3 or so, he may not be good for the rest of the night. And obviously that hasn't happened often. I mean, this guy's a first round talent because it hasn't happened really at all. But I'm glad it's kind of happening now right before postseason because, I mean, it's clear that he is a big reason why their record is what it is. I mean, he only gets 2 points against Tennessee, right? Something like that. And you're thinking, all right, he's going against Nate and Ment. It's fine if they neutralize each other. But then Nate goes out and Amari does nothing the rest of the game, which is a little puzzling. And then this game, he kind of follows up with the same thing. So I'm not too worried. Obviously, back-to-back is a little strange for him to go 2 for 14 total, but I think for the Auburn game, I think he'll be all right. And for the postseason, I'm excited to see what he does.
Is his dog okay? Is he making the right? Is some teacher giving him a hard time? Do you think he's having some problems off the court? Maybe I didn't want to espouse a problem on him without. I was just trying to be funny.
Right,
but do you think something's going on with him? Really?
I mean, it's basketball. No one's gonna be perfect.
I asked Theo if you think he's hitting a freshman wall the other day.
Okay. I mean,
long season.
It'd be weird to hit a freshman wall 30 games into the season.
Sure. Okay. I'm just asking. I'm just trying to think it through.
But I don't think it's something to worry about. If he does it against Auburn, then you're thinking, all right, hopefully something really gets fixed before the SEC tournament. But I'm confident that he'll be all right against Auburn.
All right, so take us back to the Auburn game a couple of weeks ago over in Neville Arena. Your experience there.
That was fun. Yeah.
Obviously, Alabama coming away victorious. And then what will we see on Saturday, 7:30 in Coleman Coliseum as Alabama finishes the regular season?
Well, there's going to be a player that was playing against Auburn that won't be playing. It's Charles Bediako. He had his best game in his 5 games here. I think he had around 12 points, somewhere near 10 rebounds, a couple blocks, a couple assists. He was big in the comeback effort there, and now he's not there. That was a really good game for Sherrill and Bediako as kind of like a duo of bigs, and now that's not going to happen. So we're gonna have to kind of find someone who could fill that role. And like I said earlier, could be London Jemison, could be Amari Allen. We're still waiting for Taylor Babone to get back to what he was like a month or two ago. So it could be him. But I think the bigs will play a major factor in that. Obviously, the guards, I mean, that's LeBaron Philon versus Todd Pettiford, got Keyshawn Hall, Amari Allen. Like, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun group to watch. But I think the battle of the bigs is really going to make the difference, as it has in previous years with Janai Broome, who's no longer there.
This is just such a fascinating game.
Yeah.
From a storyline perspective, right? I mean, Auburn's lost 7 of 9.
God.
You're reeling, and even with how bad, I mean, it's like Bruce Pearl is making national headlines every day for what he's saying about Auburn, and everyone's turned on Stephen Pearl. And you look at how, I mean, things are miserable over there right now.
Right.
You guys probably saw the photos of the empty Neville Arena, basically against LSU, and the $5 tickets. And it's a crazy fall from 1 year ago where this program was. And even with all that, Auburn is almost certainly in a position where with a win on Saturday, you are back in the field to 68.
It's going to be close.
It is all knowing the committee, knowing the way that they put the teams that end up getting in. If Auburn wins on Saturday and then does not get upset by whatever 14 seed in the SEC that they
Ole
play,
Miss right now,
Ole Miss or whoever it is, and then they are almost certainly, I believe, in the field
if they beat Alabama.
Yes,
and then the next game,
you have, despite everything that's gone horribly wrong, you still have a talented roster that has a chance to redeem itself. A lot of pressure. And there's, this is a team with everything to play for. And if Stephen Pearl has any ability whatsoever to motivate a basketball team, it will be on full display on Saturday in Coleman. Just
real quick,
please.
I don't know if you guys spoke about this in a previous show with the whole Bruce Pearl thing. Do you think Miami, Ohio should make it?
Yes.
Because that was the argument.
Right.
And I think 100% Miami, Ohio should make it over Auburn if it comes down to those two.
Right. If they're 32-1 or whatever the case may be, and they lose in the conference finals, buddy, they're in.
Right.
You give them a 15 seed and just say, congratulations, you're in.
Right.
Y'all can, people can cry about their seeding. They should be a 10. They should be a 7, whatever, a one-loss team, whatever. But just throw them in the field anywhere, please. They deserve to be in the field. And if it's a discussion between a 31-1 or 30-1 Miami of Ohio team against the 9th team in the SEC, the 12th team in the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, great. I know those conferences play big boy basketball, and I enjoy it from a fan standpoint. But do you really need a team that's 500 in a major conference in over a team that is one loss on the entire season? Sure, they didn't play any quad 1 games because scheduling, this, that, and the other. And you probably didn't expect to be maybe that good, transfer portal, roster. Yes, they should be in.
Yeah, I'm trying to restrain myself because I started yelling into the mic on Monday when this came up. But
you guys did talk about it.
It would be an absolute, it would be one of the biggest travesties I've ever seen if Miami of Ohio is left out of the field.
Just making sure. Yeah.
It would be a joke, and it would change the way that I view the sport.
I just do not want to see a 500 team from the Big 10, from the ACC, from the SEC.
Okay. We're going to see a lot of Georgia is a 500.
Right.
Team
We are going to see those teams.
teams.
But I don't want to I don't want to see one of those teams over a Miami of Ohio. If we get through Selection Sunday and Miami of Ohio is out and 4 or 500 teams are in the field, I would think, man, that's a load of hooey. That's terrible.
Yes.
Good. I'm just making sure.
All right.
Making sure we're on the same page.
Hunter, we got short time with Theo because he's going to go film the Final Four. And by the way, Theo, the other Final Four finalists are Fairhope and Hoover. Fairhope and Hoover at 1:30 after the Dothan and County High game. So go Wildcats. Hoover, man, the Bucks are good. The Bucks are really good. So that would be a heck of a Saturday game, County High and Hoover.
Why is it so early? Why is it during a school day?
Because they've got to play. Look at this schedule. They're playing 9 o'clock to a semifinal game. They're playing 10 o'clock, 10:30. They're playing all kinds of games.
Oh, and it's all in the same court.
Right.
Okay,
same area.
Yeah.
They're all in the same little.
It is
complex.
A little weird to me that 7A is the open, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that nobody shows up to these games. I last year being at Legacy Arena, and you just have maybe 300 people in the building in a 15,000 capacity arena. It was rough.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Trying to get all the games in one facility in one weekend. You just got to start early and just play them all the way through.
Mm-hmm. Alabama is. I was ranking the arenas by capacity of the high school state championship game. Alabama's, I think it was 8th on the list. So
Legacy Arena's a nice place.
It's bigger than you realize. Now, if we could see it filled for something besides a concert, that would be nice.
Hunter, let's wrap up the basketball conversation with just your prognostication for the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. Where do you think the Crimson Tide Will they get all the way to Sunday and play the Florida Gators, or will they lose before that? And then how do you feel about their NCAA tournament standings? As of right now, Alabama's playing the winner of Texas A&M against Game 3 is Texas and LSU. So you're likely playing A&M, obviously, but you could get Texas or LSU on that opening Friday game.
I would say, I think no matter what, they make it to at least Saturday. So they're going to make it to the semifinal. I think that's a step up from last year, given that they got smoked by Florida in the quarterfinal. Of course, if they run into Florida during that time, I don't think they will. Well, they wouldn't because they could be a 2 or 3 seed. But then it won't work out. But I think that Alabama could compete with really any team in the conference except for Florida. I mean, you lose 5 games in a row to them. At least with Tennessee, obviously you lost 5 games in a row, but most of those games were close.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's blown them out every time, at least the last couple. And so I think they do make it Saturday. I think they could beat Texas A&M. They beat them earlier this year. It was a great game. Rylan Griffin almost hit the game-tying shot at the buzzer. It was sick. But
that's a pretty difficult Friday game.
Yeah, it is difficult. It's not a guarantee, like I just said. It came down to a buzzer, like kind of thing. They only won by 3. And Alabama was at home, so neutral setting could change that. But I think they could get that done. And Saturday, they'd play probably, if they're the 2 seed,
probably Arkansas.
Yeah, they would play the 3 seeds.
Arkansas gets the winner of Game 8, which is Vanderbilt versus winner of Game 4. Vanderbilt, Auburn, and Ole Miss are in that little trio. So you're going to get one of those. You'll get Auburn, Ole Miss, Vandy, or Arkansas on that Saturday. Likely Vandy or Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any team in the SEC that wants to beat Alabama right now, it's definitely Arkansas.
Woo!
You just had the best college basketball game in the SEC that I've seen. Period.
Yeah.
It's one of the best regular season college basketball games I've ever seen. I was there. It was double overtime. It was nuts. You have a guy who gets 49 points, the most points by a freshman in a single game, and lose. You have 3 other guys get around 20 points, still lose. And they definitely want revenge, and it's a neutral setting. I think that is where Alabama could run into some trouble. But they win that, then they might lose the next game. Yeah.
If I was just doing a really brief overview, I'd say you probably got 75, 50, 25, 75% chance you beat the lower seed that's already played a game the day before, right? That's a game you're favored to win into. Arkansas, I mean, we saw it on display in Coleman. That is as close to a coin toss as you're going to get, right? I mean, that is. And then Florida, 25 is a little low. Like, it's probably a little higher than that.
No.
I don't know.
I think it's about right.
25 is about right.
I think that's about right.
Like, the Gators are a better team than you. And you saw them. Like,
and a stylistic problem.
You watched the way that they humiliated Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys remember Alabama getting killed. But obviously the team has been better since then. But no, Arkansas just got ran off the court. I think it was a 34-point game.
Right.
Like the Gators are. If I was picking a team to win the championship right now, the national championship, it is Florida.
Florida over Arizona?
It is Florida.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't really have an issue with it. Arizona hasn't won a national championship, at least since I've been watching
99, I think. Was
okay,
their
so
last.
that's before I was.
I like Arizona. I like Michigan. I like Gonzaga. I like the favorites, really. I don't.
Yeah.
I like Michigan, Gonzaga, and UConn.
I don't know about the Saga team. Florida is an elite basketball team, and
Mm-hmm.
Right over left. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Right over left. Theo, let's move forward real quick and give us the baseball update. 13-4 yesterday. Alabama beats Alabama State. Alabama A&M.
Alabama State.
Thank you.
Joe, this
You're
was
good. Move those wherever you want.
when you think about midweek baseball, this game checked all of the boxes.
Wild.
4-hour runtime. The game was taken off the air on Tide 100.9 because I guess it ran until 10 o'clock and they didn't even want to hear it. Like, no one wanted to hear Rob Vaughn talk. So they pulled it in the 9th inning. Alabama tied a program record with 9 stolen bases, which you talk about one area that team is excelling. 30 for 30 on the base path base paths this year. LeBron stolen 12 bases already. Yeah, no, those guys can run. So 9 for 9 stolen bases. You walked.
Wonder what their 40 times are.
Yeah, 15 walks.
15 walks,
which was one shy of the program record. You tied the program record as 7 batters got hit by pitches.
So Alabama State doesn't have a pitcher.
Well, it's a midweek, so basically they're using all of their, lower leverage relievers.
Sure,
but yeah, it got bad, man. Alabama had 3 guys hit by pitches in the 9th, including really, really highly touted freshman Caleb Barnett from Mountain Brook. Had his first career RBI, and it was literally just because he got hit with the bases loaded. So I don't know if that's a ball you even want to hang on to. Everyone keeps their first RBI. I don't know.
It's a bruise photo that you put on your wall.
Absolutely. Now, it was such a weird game, man. It was a little bit of everything happened. I think my favorite thing from the game was that Alabama State has a utility player who drove in a run in the 9th inning by the name of Skywalker Man.
What?
Skywalker Man. I tweeted it out. It was awesome.
I saw it too.
Is he? You think his parents are obviously Star Wars fans?
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, his father's name was like Jason. His mother's name was something average and
Leia.
Yeah, Skywalker drove in a run. I know everyone makes those like all name team posts. If Skywalker Man is not included.
So you need to start keeping track. What position does he play? Doesn't matter right now, but
everywhere.
Start keeping track, and you can make your lineup at the end of the year of opponents that Alabama. So Skywalker Man goes on the all name team, and we'll see. You can look back through the last few rosters that they've played, Oregon State and the like, and see if they've got any names. But the rest of the year, you can start keeping up and make a lineup card with the best names that they played.
I like that idea a lot. I will go do that. I think the final note on this game, which is not a good note, Alabama stranded 19 runners on base.
Aye.
They stranded the bases loaded in 4 different innings.
No.
Yeah. 13 runs on 10 hits. Shout out Davis Cornell doing the research. He is 95% certain that is the most runners Alabama has ever stranded in a 9-inning game. Wow. 19 runners. And look, across the board, like Alabama has been leaving a lot on the table. They've stranded runners all season, but it's hard to take anything seriously from this game because it was not a joke, but
15 walks.
Yeah, it was. You had 22 free passes between the walks and the hit by pitches, and if you get on first, you instantly take second. There was, the catcher just couldn't make the throw. I'm just speculating on that because I'm relying fully off the play-by-play call from the radio, the television, the SWAC.
How was Roger yesterday? Roger's always great.
Roger's covering the SEC tournament.
So it wasn't. Okay, so it's Gray. Okay, Gray's good.
I love Roger, man.
Roger Hoover, we love you.
Like when we get to SEC play,
but he's on the women's games, right?
He's on the women's, for which the woman beat Missouri last night.
First round. I was about to look that up. Good for them.
It was a really weird game. Missouri shot like 30% from the field, but hey, Alabama moves on.
They've got Tennessee tonight at 7:30.
Hey, Alabama competed with Tennessee.
They can beat Tennessee. Tennessee just had a chick leave the team because
I saw that.
Because she wasn't happy with their senior day production or her involvement in senior day or what they were doing for the seniors or something.
She wanted to get the start.
I don't know what her stats are.
I was looking at it. She's 5-year, had like 2 season-ending injuries. It was like a Rudy moment,
Yeah, I knew she had the injuries. If she has decent stats,
then... no, she's a bench warmer. She doesn't play.
Okay,
what the heck?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's a bad look though on both sides, right? Like, could you imagine? Oh man, Jacob Martin walks away from Alabama basketball.
In 2 years, everybody, no.
But no, just think about how that would look from beyond. It's weird for a player. Come Come on,
You're not starting me. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
God,
But also-
goodbye.
That's weird.
Adios.
Kinda
You've
makes-
given us 5 years and you won't give us another week.
Yeah.
You've given us 5 years, but one more week is too much.
There had to be more than just that, right? Like, it had
Yes.
to
I would
be.
imagine.
Kim
yeah.
Caldwell, the coach there. I've heard some negative things about her. She was nice to interview after the Alabama game a few weeks ago. But yeah, Alabama competed with Tennessee. Crimson Tide has to make it, like we said, to the 6 line to have a shot at a Sweet 16.
Yeah, I think we said that off air before we started yesterday.
We did say it off air. Alabama women's, we know how good those top 2 seeds are. If you want to make the Sweet 16, which hasn't been done under Curry, you got to get to the 6 seed. You got to at least play a 3 seed in the second round, and maybe you have a chance.
So we'll see how it keeps going at 7:30 tonight. Theo's about to get out of here to drive to Birmingham. We hope everybody, look, I know a lot of you will be driving to Birmingham to watch the Wildcats play. Hope the Wildcats are successful today. Get to Saturday, get to the final to take on likely Hoover. Be safe on the road up to Birmingham and coming back. Follow Theo Fernandez's coverage at Theo Fernandez _ and at WVUA 23 tonight. Or the next couple days.
We'll have a package airing tonight. I'm anchoring the weekend. It'll be a fun time.
All right, so make sure you follow him there. Everett Osmer, appreciate your comment here saying, yay, Hunter is back. Hunter, thank you for joining us today. Follow Hunter De Siver at Hunter De Siver on the Twitter machine. He's going to be covering all things basketball over the weekend and into Selection Sunday.
I think Everett wants this to be the Hunter De Siver show.
It might be.
Yeah,
he may want that. That's okay. We'll find out how we can make that work. Keith Connell saying, roll tide, you bunch of reprobates, flim flappers, hoodwinkers, and snake oil salesmen. Hope you're having a great day. Keith, he also echoed your Theo Fernandez's take on London Jemison. I think London is a potential superstar. So we'll see how it plays out for London Jemison. If the basketball team can get back on track on Saturday, we'll talk to you tomorrow with Katie Wyndham. Katie's going to help us with the Iron Bowl of basketball as well, but she's also going to help us on Alabama softball as those girls are smacking the cover off the ball, and their weekend continues, opening up SEC play this weekend. So she's going to help us with softball tomorrow. So follow Katie Wyndham at Katie Wyndham _. And we may talk a little NFL combine with Katie Wyndham tomorrow. That's going to do it for our program today. You can follow us at BamaCentral at Joe Gaither 6. Make sure you check out Purple Turtle Roofing at roofturtle.com and call Derek Daniel for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391.